we're going to start off with Dog of the Week. We're going to go around each kind of brag on a guy that we think really took over the game.
Kalel Mullings. I feel like kind of the unsung hero because I think Donovan Edwards gets a lot of the hype out of the Michigan running back room. However, Mr. Mullins here, big 2-0, had 17 carries for 159 yards. That's averaging 9.4 yards a pop. And 2 touchdowns. Now, to be fair, I'm not going to call that 9.4 inflated, but he did have a 63-yard rush and I believe a 54-yard rush. One resulted in a touchdown and one resulted in a down at the 17 where the offense got down to the 1 and then he was able to punch it in. So, I mean, honestly, huge shout out to Michigan in general, not just Mr. Mullings here. The way Michigan plays football, it's especially now, it's very team oriented on offense. And also give a shout out to the offensive line. Just constantly getting a push and open up the holes. And I'm sure if you asked Mullings or Edwards or Orgy even the same questions, they would say the exact same thing. It's all about the guys up front. Everybody doing your job.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to the Michigan telephone booth offense.
Yeah, they needed every single one of those yards from Mullings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, you win the game by 3 points at home.
He scored the go-ahead touchdown, did he not?
I believe he did.
It's a very good Dog of the Week. They needed every single yard this man Mullings had. Yep. You said 2 touchdowns?
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. It was funny. I was talking to the two of you earlier. I would have taken both of your picks for my guys. Some great stat lines. However, we move, we pivot. I'm taking it over to the SMU TCU game, and I know they're not both in the Big 12, but it was a old-fashioned Big 12 shootout, I think you could call it. 66-42.
Ooh.
And Noah's going to touch on another shootout in his, but a lot of high-scoring basketball-esque scores this weekend almost. SMU almost hanging 70 on TCU, and my dog from that game is Brashard Smith. He's a transfer from Miami. He's more of an, I was looking into him. I hadn't heard of him before. Don't know ball. I know him now. But he's kind of more of an athlete. I think in Miami, my understanding, I haven't gone back and grinded all the tape, but he might have been more of like, split him out at wide receiver, put him in the backfield kind of guy. But he was a do-it-all guy this past weekend. He had 18 carries for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then he added another receiving touchdown. So 4 total touchdowns. So we're pushing, I think, a little over 40% of that point total for SMU in that game, which is pretty impressive output from one individual. But they got in a little bit of a shootout with TCU. I think I was looking back at their schedule. This is their first, I guess you'd call it Power 4 win since they've been promoted to this level of play. So a big win, not a conference win, but a Power 4 win nonetheless. And then another interesting tidbit that I found looking into this game was, did you all know that there was a trophy in this game? The really? TCU-SMU game? It's a rivalry, and they play for a trophy.
That does make geographical sense, but that's about it.
Would you like to take Would you like to take a guess at what the trophy is? I guarantee you would probably never guess it in a million years, but I'd love to hear some guesses if you have it.
Is it a cattle iron? I don't know.
That'd be good. No.
Cattle prod.
No, let's see. SMU, they're what, the Stallions?
They're both
Yeah, you'd think it'd be
they're both religious.
You'd think that it'd be something related to the teams, right?
Is it a Bible?
No.
If it were a Bible.
No, it's out of left.
A Bible would be sick.
It would be. I think that would be more fitting than this.
Not as sacrilegious though.
No, I'll just go ahead and tell you. You're not going to guess it. They play for the Iron Skillet. It is quite literally a cast iron skillet with a plate on it that they award and they trade back and forth. Let me be clear. I'm not ragging on this. I think it is sick. I just had no idea that this existed. And I do think that this is one very underrated part of the sport is the little niche rivalry trophies that you trade back and forth. So
that's sick.
I thought it was interesting.
It does make sense. I mean, they off the top of my head, they are the two most prominent Christian schools in the state of Texas. So it would make sense they have a rivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because not too long ago, TCU was not in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So
True.
I wonder how many times they did play.
It's probably like a
TCU made the jump.
Yeah, it's probably like a historic rivalry. Like 1900s kind of vibe. I'm sure they play pretty often. But
yeah, I like that. That is
sorry.
not the stupidest. It's not the stupidest rivalry trophy out there.
No, I think we can make a whole video on that when we get to rivalry season because there's a lot of interesting trophies out there. Write that down. Write that down.
That was like one of my favorite parts about like the old NCAA games. Is like you just like be scrolling, and all of a sudden it's like,
battle for the whatever.
Battle for the hat. Okay, all right, cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's some odd ones out there.
Play for a golden egg, like it's.
Some
of these are out there.
What the eggs have to do with the state of Mississippi? We will never know.
Agriculture, baby.
I reckon.
That's all I got.
A lot of chickens out there.
Oh man.
Oh,
anyways,
very nice.
Little tangent, but
Noah, who you got?
All right, yeah. As Brandon kind of alluded to, a lot of shootouts this past weekend. This one though is a little bit different than the rest because it might result in a retirement, and I'm of course talking about Mack Brown, who is the head coach of UNC, who lost to JMU 70-50 on Saturday.
Insane.
50 points of the 70, I think it was exactly 50, were scored in the first half.
Yeah.
Imagine giving up a 50 burger at home in the first half. So
To a Sunbelt team.
Granted, JMU broke out onto the scene last year, but new head coach. Like, they lost their head coach. Their head coach went to Indiana. So, new head coach, new quarterback. At least I think. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure a good majority of the coaching staff and the starting 22 went with him. Yeah,
that's valid. So without further ado, my dog of the week is Alonza Barnett III. Absolutely balled out. 22 of 34. Sorry, the quarterback of JMU. 22 of 34, 388 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, and then on the ground, 13 carries, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So 7 total touchdowns. That is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We almost made it through this week without giving it to a quarterback.
That's true. It's quarterback.
But like you got it. But like you kind of had to here. I mean,
some are saying it's a quarterback award. Dog of the week.
People are talking.
I've seen it.
It's a bit of a quarterback award.
I've said it. This is the first one in the last 3 weeks I haven't given it to a quarterback.
It's fair. All right, check here. 53 of the 70 points were scored in the first 2 quarters.
Gotcha.
They're up 50 for a minute.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say that 50 of the points were scored by this man. You're not that far off, though.
I mean,
49?
47 times
42?
6. He didn't kick.
That's true. He didn't kick. That'd be wild.
Kick your own extra points.
That would be sick.
Honestly, once you score the first 50,
why not?
Send your starting quarterback out there to let him take the PAT. Come on now.
Counts, you know?
Yeah. Coach, I gotta make it to the league somehow.
That's fair.